Hey guys, so this was my first go at doing jumbo box braids. It was inspired by Jhené Aiko, and I'm going to show you how they look. I use 26-inch Spectra hair.
And give you peace.
So this came as a 3-pin here. I didn't record myself actually doing it from start to finish. So I got better, of course, as I went along. And because of that, I'm going to redo the ones in the front, kind of put more edge control and a little gel, styling gel to give it more of a silky look, and then lay my edges, and then I'll be back. And then you will see how I rock my jumbo box braids. They're knotless. I use the rubber band method, so stay tuned. I will show you how I achieve this look. So now I want to perfect this one. So I am in the front, I'm going to use my Eco Professional Styling Gel. So I'm just kind of more so slick it, so we can have a sleek look going into the braid versus kind of being frizzy. So I'm just gonna apply it. Actually using something called poly bands, which I found at Target. Not sure the difference between those and rubber bands, but they're called poly bands, excuse me. All right, so this is what I do. So I have my hair section like I want it, okay? So I take it and I halfen it, just like that, okay? So then I take my hair, and like I said, this one is already kind of wavy because this is what I had in there earlier. So I take the hair and basically I lay it just like that. Okay? I lay it underneath. So there's the hair, as you can see. So now I take the top part, because remember I halvened the section. So I take it and I pull it together, basically. And it's exactly how I want it. So I'm taking the band, okay? And basically, I'm just banding my hair. So this is the same method I use because this is my first time trying jumbo braids, but there are times when I do like the ponytail braid, high pony, long braid. And this is basically how I'm able to achieve that braid also, without having to wrap a whole bunch of hair or whatever and make it seem like the long Jhené tail is coming from my scalp. Okay. I have that banded. As you can see, now I just tighten just a little bit. And now, here we go. And then I braid. So what I try to do is take some of my hair. I divide it in three, of course. 3 sections as far as me braiding the hair. So, and I try to add my hair to each section. So there's section 1. Okay. And then section 2. Okay. So now all I do is braid. And I use, of course, a black band. So if it shows just a little, it's okay. And basically, it looks as though it's braided from the scalp. And I just braid all the way to the end. So I just take my time and braid all the way to the end. I have my hot water boiling so that I can seal all my ends actually when I'm done. I actually bought a 3-pack of the Spectra hair. I got the 26-inch is what I used because I like mine to be mid back / tailbone length. And on the picture of Jhené Aiko, you'll actually see that hers come down long as well. So we're just braiding to the end. Okay, I'm back. So that section that I had, I actually divided it, and I'm gonna make 2 braids out of it on this go round. And so this is the thickness of the hair that I'm using, how much that I'm using. So of course I'm reusing it from the braid that I took down. So I'm losing a few strands, but it's a-okay. So I'm going to show you. So this is the section of hair. So I divide it in half. I lay the hair right there. Okay, so now I pick the hair up, and the hair is sandwiched between those 2 pieces. I've already put my styling gel on there to smooth it, and so now I'm just going to band it together. As you can see here. Okay, so then I tighten it. All right, so now I have my pieces, and I don't use just my hair as the 3rd section. I guess I could, and then as I get down the braid, you know, redistribute the hair. But I prefer to pause for station identification, because I think I had kind of banded some of the hair by accident. Okay, so never know what you're going to run into, but it's all good. You just adapt and keep on moving. Kind of straighten it out. Don't want to lose any other strands, but because see, it can still shift around even though I have the hair sandwich in between. So it's good to see what flaws I experience. So basically I'm holding tension on that end and just kind of finger combing any knot that may exist. Just kind of comb that out so we don't have any problems, because we want it to be as smooth as possible. So, okay. Now that I've done that, all right, so let's try this again. This side is, I think, is fine. So if not, double check. Just run my fingers through it, finger comb it, make sure I have no problems. All right, so we're good to go. All right. So I'm actually just going to use my hair as the 3rd piece. I really hadn't been doing that, but because I'm reusing this piece of hair and it's kind of already giving me problems, I will. And now this is how you accomplish the knotless look. So it doesn't look, there's no knot, looks like it's coming from my scalp, and I will redistribute the hair, you know. So I am doing it overhand because of how I started. Usually on the sides I'm able to, I do an underhand braid. So at some point I am going to switch, but I think overall the sleekness of the braid still exists, but when I get to a certain point that I have to change, kind of changes the direction of the braid just a little, but it's all good. And I am currently kind of redistributing the hair as I'm moving down because it's thinning, because my hair is eventually going to run out because my hair is not tailbone length. So I am just kind of gradually getting pieces of hair from the other sections as I braid to continue to have, you know, the 3 pieces. Now this is where I turn and go to underhand braid versus overhand. But, you know, I'm not really seeking perfection here, so it's okay. So I'm just braiding on down. And this takes a few minutes, unfortunately. And this is where I was mistaken. I'm like, of course, it's just some jumbo braids, about 12 braids on my head. I can do that in no time. Then, I'm not a braider. It's not my forte. So, I can only go so fast. But, doing the best I can, and I'm liking it, so see, you can see kind of where it switches and goes from overhand to underhand, but it's not that bad. I mean, all I have is time right now. I spent basically $7 on hair and just taking my time. So I didn't have to pay anyone to do it. I didn't have anywhere to be. So I consider this me time, self-care time. You know, self-care can include facials, but anything you do to take time for yourself. And basically that is what I'm doing. So I consider this me time, self-care time. I do like to braid all the way down to the end, and I am going to seal with hot water. So I have one more left, and then I will be done. And see, that is much smoother than before. I can kind of see the rubber band a little bit, but how it's going to hang, you won't be able, you know, it's all good. So you cannot see the rubber band on that one at all. So last one. All right, so fun fact as I get ready to do my last braid, inspired by Jhené Aiko. About a year and a half ago, a friend and I were at an LMA concert, and I had faux locks at the time, goddess faux locks. That's like my go-to style. I love those. So I had my goddess faux locks, had my cute little concert outfit on, of course. One of the girls I was standing by, I mean, she definitely favored LMA. And I was like, you look like LMA. I was like, I have just got to tell you, because I'm standing here and I'm like, wow, you look like LMA. And she was like, thank you. And then she was like, I was standing here thinking you favor Jhené Aiko. And I was like, oh, really? Oh, really? I really take that as a compliment. Thank you. I hadn't heard that before. So now full circle, here we are. And I follow Jhené Aiko because she is talented. I like her music and I think she's beautiful. So now here we are, fast forward, and this current hairstyle, other of my hairstyles when I've gotten like small box braids with loose ends, I've actually shown the stylist, the braider, her pictures as my inspiration. Wow. So who would have thought 2+ years later, here I am actually doing my own hair that it is inspired by one of her recent looks. So I can't wait to, you know, lay these edges, put some earrings on, take a cute picture, and do a side-by-side of what do you think. So last braid, here we go. So I have sectioned it in half, as I have done with each braid. I have the thickness of the hair that I want. I made it similar to the last one so I can make sure that my braids are a little, some of them vary. Like I do have one that's a little smaller, that's kind of on the side. But I try to keep them as uniform as possible. So I'm placing it here, and as before. And I kind of want, I don't want this at the forefront. So I am kind of pulling this one back just a little, because the picture that she has that I'm using as my inspiration, this one is kind of, you know, pull back some, show the smooth texture of her hair or whatever. So I put a little water there, a little more Eco-style gel, make it as smooth as possible. Get it laid so you can kind of see the distinction of the parts. Okay, taking my rubber band. And I am not coming to the forefront. I'm just banding it and sandwiching the braiding here in the middle. Okay. Like I said, not a lot of tension, still smooth. Just gonna kind of tighten it just a little bit. Not too much. So not a lot of tension. And okay. So we're right at 2 minutes in and I haven't started braiding yet, but this is where we are. Hey, it looks good. So I'm satisfied with that. So I am actually going to try, because this here is a little, I'm going to go ahead and, since I didn't do it on the last one, I am going to do it on this one. Divide it into 3 sections where some of the hair is actually with my hair as well. So the third piece, you know, has my hair is distributed within each section actually. Whew. This is an arm workout in and of itself. And I did just finish my workout, so I've got to kind of pause sometimes and let my arms take a break. Okay, so see how I've divided my section into 3s to blend with the hair, the braiding hair. So now I have all 3 sections and I will start to braid. And it covers the band actually because of how I cross it going back. And like I said, I'm going overhand to start. I'm gonna just take a seat, rest my arms a little, and just braid it tight. Whew. And we're at 3.5 minutes. So like I said, from start to finish, 6 to 7 minutes per braid. Now I'm going underhand, so I am switching the direction of the braid, which it's not a big deal because I'm not seeking perfection. I'm just seeking cuteness and something that is low maintenance. This I consider as a protective style, something that will last me for a couple weeks maybe. Or if I don't want it to last me for a couple weeks, I mean, I only spent $7 on the hair and I just devoted a couple hours to the process of my free time. So, I mean, I can take it down at the end of the week. Or if it starts to frizz in the front, maybe it'll just look more natural and I'll leave it. Or as the front starts to get old, I can redo the front and keep, you know, the pieces in the back, or redo them one by one as I see fit. So with that, we're at coming up on 5 minutes. So yeah, I would just roughly say 7 to 8 minutes per braid. 8 minutes, 15 braids. 15 times 8, that's 40. 0, carry the 4, that's 120 minutes. So yeah, so 15 braids, 8 minutes per, that's 120 minutes. Factoring in sectioning the hair, parting the hair, detangling the hair. You know, you just give yourself 3 hours, and maybe as you continue to do it, you know, you shave off a couple minutes each time because you get quicker with and more efficient with each braid. So, because I'm actually coming up on 6 minutes now. But like I said, This is 14 braids later, and redoing a couple of braids. So I've kind of gotten a little more proficient by the time, because it's like the 20th time at this point. So, but I'm still at the 6-minute mark, with a few more seconds to go. So I feel like I'll cap at 7 minutes. So now that I've been doing this and practicing, maybe 7 minutes per braid. And of course, length is dependent on the length as well. And of course, I like mine to be long. My hair underneath stops at about bra strap length anyway. So, and I love tailbone length. I love, you know, just the flow that having the long locks. When I say locks, you know, I'm just referring to hair in general, but I just love that look. So it's something goddess about it that I really like. So yeah, I'm exactly at 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 59 seconds, and my hand is off the braid. So there we have it. Kind of wondering if I should have left that as one piece, because I like how it went further back the first go round. But it's okay. You know, you do it more, you learn. So I'm just trying to figure out. It's okay. Yeah, it's fine. So now I will lay my edges. I'll be back.